Good evening. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's developing stories, and the biggest developing story that we have today is, of course, the poll bugle's been sounded in Bihar. The BJP is gone and they kicked off their campaign with party president and Home Minister Rajnath Singh in Patna today. Also, the Janata Parivar merger is expected to happen anytime soon. So what is in offing in Bihar? We'll be talking about that. Also, a lot of the other stories that have been playing out across India and the world over the next half hour. But first, the headlines we're tracking right now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and German Chancellor Angela Merkel addressed joint press conference. Leaders pledged to deepen economic relations. Prime Minister to head to Canada. Visit to focus on fuel supply agreement with Canada's biggest uranium producer. Janata Parivar likely to merge formally on Wednesday. 6 political parties to unite under Mulayam Singh Yadav's leadership. And 2611 mastermind Zakir Rahman Lakhvi's release challenged in Pakistan's Supreme Court. Pakistani government says Mumbai terror attack trial may be affected. A top story this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will wrap up his Germany visit shortly as he's addressed the joint press conference with Chancellor Angela Merkel in Berlin. German Chancellor Merkel greeted Prime Minister Modi with a ceremonial welcome in Berlin during the press conference. Modi said that both sides had successful discussions to attract investments and business. He also said that two nations have agreed to cooperate in various fields. Now, in the final leg of his three-nation trip, Prime Minister Narendra Modi heads to Canada today. Modi will meet his Canadian counterpart Stephen Harper in Ottawa. The Prime Minister is also likely to clinch a fuel supply agreement with Canada's biggest uranium producer.
Canada will be the last leg of Prime Minister's ongoing three-nation visit. After completing his visit to Germany, the Prime Minister is set for Ottawa, where he will hold bilateral talks with the Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper in an effort to boost foreign trade and investments.
The business community sees that they can see that they can do business with India, that if they have a good product, they can go into India with 1.25 billion population consumers, they can sell their product and make money.
A key commercial deal is also likely with Canada's biggest uranium producer, Cameco Corp, to feed India's reactors. The Prime Minister had said that it's one of his major goals on the trip. Canada had banned exports of uranium and nuclear hardware to India in the 1970s. The two countries turned the page with the deal that took effect in 2013. Modi will also address the Indian diaspora in Toronto and Vancouver. The event planned in Toronto is said to be at par with Modi's reception at the Madison Square Garden last year during his US visit.
I think the community is looking for ease of arrival on India. And I don't want to preempt what governments may or may not be saying in this regard, but I think in the travel arena there is great interest. I think the sense of engagement with Canada at different levels, with the community in particular, I think is refreshing and very welcome.
There's tremendous excitement about his visit to Canada. I think he is seen as a bold and charismatic leader who has a vision for India moving forward, and people appreciate that.
The event at the Ricoh Coliseum Stadium is expected to attract a crowd of nearly 10,000 people. Preparations are in full swing for another grand show ahead of the Prime Minister's visit. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to political developments back home. The Janata Parivar will be formally born on Wednesday with 6 political parties coming together under one banner. Mulayam Singh Yadav will lead the new dispensation at a time when parties are preparing to face the electorate in Bihar later this year and Uttar Pradesh in 2017.
April 15th will see the dawn of a new party. The new entity could be named either Samajwadi Janata Party or Samajwadi Janata Dal with the cycle as its symbol.
मुलायम सिंह जी को ये पूरा अधिकार दे दिया है, तो ये माना जाए कि बाकी जितने दल है आपकी पार्टी समेत वो एक तरह से सैद्धांतिक रूप से इस बात को लेकर सहमत है कि विलय होना चाहिए।
मैंने कहा ना कि उनको सारी पार्टियों ने सर्वाधिकार दे दिया है कि आप पार्टी के जो विलय है उसकी सारी प्रक्रिया आप पूरी करिए।
A formal announcement of the new entity is set to be made on Wednesday after a meeting at Mulayam Singh Yadav's residence. The meeting is expected to be attended by Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, JDU Chief Sharad Yadav, its General Secretary K.C. Tyagi, JDS Chief and former Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda, RJD Chief Lalu Prasad, Samajwadi Janata Party Chief Kamal Murarka and INLD leader Dushyant Chautala, besides Mulayam Singh Yadav's brother Ram Gopal Yadav. Ahead of the announcement, the group seems confident of making an impact.
इसलिए मर्जर हो रहा कि देश बचाया जाए, इसका और दूसरा कोई मकसद नहीं।
बिहार में जब नीतीश जी लालू जी जब मिल गए हैं तो कोई फैक्टर काम नहीं करेगा। यहाँ फिर से ये दोनों मिलकर सरकार बनाएंगे, अब बीजेपी का बुढ़िया बिस्तर बंद होगा।
The process of coming together of the Janata Parivar began soon after the Lok Sabha polls, when the Narendra Modi-led BJP decimated JDU and RJD in Bihar, Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh and marginalized the INLD in Haryana. They tested waters last year by fighting the assembly by-polls in Bihar in August, winning 6 out of the 10 seats at stake, indicating the potential of the combine. The merger ahead of the November assembly polls in Bihar is seen as significant, given that there is new hope among opposition parties in wake of the BJP's defeat in Delhi. While assembly elections are due in Bihar this year end, Samajwadi Party ruled Uttar Pradesh goes to polls in 2017.
Now, BJP Chief Amit Shah and Home Minister Rajnath Singh launched their party's campaign for the Bihar Assembly elections at a rally in Patna's Gandhi Maidan today. Incidentally, the massive rally was organized a day before the official announcement of the Janata Parivar's merger. Now, the BJP's main challenge in these elections will, of course, be the Janata Parivar. Addressing BJP workers, both Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh exuded confidence that the BJP will be able to win the elections. The function was, however, marred by controversies. BJP MP Shatrughan Sinha, a prominent face of the party in the state, was seen missing at the event. BJP and its allies had bagged 32 of Bihar's 40 seats in the Lok Sabha elections, when Bihar's political heavyweights like Nitish Kumar and Lalu Prasad had fought separately.
आज का ये कार्यकर्ता समागम अम्बेडकर जयंती के दिन पर हो रहा है और जिसने भी जरा सी भी समझ है वो कार्यकर्ता समागम देखकर समझ जाएगा कि बिहार में अगली सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बनने जा रही है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी हो सकता है इस देश की सबसे बड़ी राजनीतिक पार्टी के रूप में संसद में आ जाए, लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी को संसद में कभी पूर्ण बहुमत नहीं हासिल हो सकता है। लेकिन उसकी भी शुरुआत यदि कहीं से हुई है तो इस बिहार की धरती से हुई है, मेरे बहनों भाइयों।
And we're joined by senior journalist Sanjeev Ratna Singh to help us understand how it's being set up for Bihar. Sanjeev, it's really been kicked off, as I was saying in the start of the bulletin. The poll bugle has been sounded. You heard what Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah have had to say. So let's talk about the BJP and, of course, the Janata Parivar as well. So it's all set up now for the assembly polls.
Yes, in fact, the timing of BJP's campaign on Ambedkar Jayanti itself is very significant because of the fact that that there is this whole constituency out there which the BJP now is focusing on, be it Bihar or Uttar Pradesh. It is the the Dalit vote bank that the BJP has been eyeing ever since the stupendous performance in the Lok Sabha elections, and that is why there is more pressure on these other parties which are coming together to form the Janata Parivar. Whatever name they'll be called by, we'll know by tomorrow, Wednesday, as to what exactly it is. But it's a battle of survival for them, which is why you see that Bihar will be the first real test for the Modi government, where they will actually take on a united opposition in the elections.
All right, but the united opposition is not that united also, in the sense that it really has to seem these are people who have had serious differences in the past when they were leaders of the Janata Dal during the 90s and the 80s before that. But also talking about X factors like Jitan Ram Manjhi, Sanjeev, you mentioned the Dalit vote, and the former chief minister could be a wild card in this gambit.
Well, of course, he's proven that he's not going to be bogged down or being, guided by any other political person than himself, and he's shown that in the past. So he's going to be a bit of a worry for both sides. I mean, we don't know which way Jitan Ram Manjhi is going to go, but he's definitely going to create problems for whichever side he is not with. So at this point of time, you'll see both there is a section within the Janata Parivar that wants Jitan Ram Manjhi to come to their fold, while we've already seen, overtures being made by the BJP towards him. So really, until and unless the opposition remains united as one force, it'll really be tough for them to actually take on BJP.
Sorry, I was just about to say, the fact that you're mentioning the opposition staying united, how difficult or how easy would it be for these leaders? I mean, you have Lalu Prasad and Nitish Kumar, who've spent the last 10 years virtually at war with each other, suddenly coming together because of a political necessity. And how would the public also react to such an alliance?
Well, it's a matter of survival for them. As far as, any sort of position or designation goes, Lalu Prasad himself is not going to be in the contention for a few years from now for obvious reasons. So, but the real problem is there will be a lot of seats where, both parties would want to contest. So, how are they going to actually solve that within themselves? And that is the big question, because the guiding force for them is the fact that they know that if they cannot put on a united face, then there is no way they can take on the BJP. And that is where the Jitan Ram Manjhi factor also comes in. So on the whole, the ball right now is actually in the BJP's favor, and we're going to see a lot of maneuvering happening between them. So at the end of the day, once these leaders realize that if they are together, that's the only chance of them to survive. So you're going to see a lot of internal factionalism happening, but at the end of the day, in the long run, that is what the leaders hope, that they'll be able to sort out the matters internally.
All right, Sanjeev, one final question. Bihar has always been about identity politics, so to say. The caste factor is one thing that is predominantly talked about in elections over there. So if we talk about, because this time around the BJP will also be talking about development, so would Nitish Kumar, saying that what he's done as far as as Chief Minister for the development of Bihar, but the underlying tone would of course be caste, wouldn't it?
Well, at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to real politics, and the real politics is all about, caste in the hinterland. So, even in the Lok Sabha election, there was a Modi wave, no doubt. But you look at the sort of alliances that the BJP or the NDA had built around them. In fact, I just heard what Rajnath Singh was saying. The first alliance that was made after Narendra Modi was announced as the BJP's prime ministerial candidate, and that was in Bihar when they tied up with with that party. I'm forgetting the name. Ishan, can you help me with that?
Shivraj Singh's party, RS.
Yeah, the RLSP, the Rashtriya Lok Samta Party. That was the first alliance that actually BJP formed, and that from there on, the alliances kept coming. So at the end of the day, even in UP, you saw that the BJP had to align with Apna Dal, a party predominantly led by the Patel votes. So it's been about alliances that we've seen in the past. So even here, when the Janata Parivar comes together, they may talk about ideology, but at the end of the day, it's about just putting up a balkanization of particular caste to ensure that their vote bank remains safe.
All right, so the caste arithmetic will be, of course, a critical factor in the elections in Bihar. Sanjeev, many thanks for coming in and helping us understand the politics of Bihar a little better. Well, time for a very quick break right now, but coming up on the other side, the Aam Aadmi Party's rebel leaders hold the first meeting with supporters. More on that after the break.
This special report will try and find out what the battle of supremacy in the Indian Ocean really is.
Chinese threat in the Indian Ocean. India too strengthening its position in the region. Both nations jostling for control of crucial maritime routes. India back with a bang in the water body named after it. Watch our special report, Indian Ocean, Battle for Supremacy, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now to politics of the Aam Aadmi Party, because the rebel leaders of the party held a day-long meeting in Gurgaon today. Over 3,000 volunteers, several AAP Lok Sabha candidates and an MLA also from Delhi attended it. One of the key issues for the dissidents was, should the workers support a new party?
Aam Aadmi Party dissidents holding their Swaraj Samvad convention in Gurgaon on Tuesday. Although nearly 3,000 party volunteers attended it, all prominent names who extended support to the rebels earlier stayed away. This included party's former Lokpal Admiral Ramdas, who sent an audio message stating that the Aam Aadmi Party failed to achieve the principles of Swaraj on which it was formed.
मैं सबसे अनुरोध करता हूं, वो कह रहे हैं कि हम अपने संविधान पे वापस आएं, अपने मिशन पे वापस आएं और इस पार्टी को बनाते वक्त जो विजन हमारा था, जो सपना हमारा था, उस सपने पे वापस लौटें ताकि एक अलग तरह का नया भारत हम बना सकें।
पार्टी के अंदर एक कमी शुरू से महसूस की गई है कार्यकर्ताओं के द्वारा कि संवादहीनता रही है कार्यकर्ता से नेताओं की। नेतृत्व ने कभी भी कार्यकर्ताओं से संवाद करने का कोई प्रयास नहीं किया है।
Leaders also put the question on whether the Aam Aadmi Party was practicing Swaraj to the workers. Over 90% said it was not. One of the notable presents at the convention was that of party MLA Pankaj Pushkar, especially in the light of warnings by the Aam Aadmi Party leadership of strict action being taken against participating at the rebel convention.
जब पार्टी की आधिकारिक मीटिंग नहीं है तो कोई भी आदमी जो इस मीटिंग में जाता है वो अपनी जिम्मेदारी पर जाए।
The meeting comes days after both Yadav and Bhushan were removed from all important party posts. Both leaders have indicated that they could call for forming a separate party. With inputs from Anu Diwan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Political leaders cutting across party line paid tribute to the father of the Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, on his 124th birth anniversary at Parliament today. Leaders of eminent political parties, along with the common public, gathered outside Parliament House and paid floral tribute at Ambedkar's statue. President Pranab Mukherjee, Vice President Mohammad Ahmed Ansari were also among those who paid the tribute. Union Ministers Rajnath Singh and Venkaiah Naidu were also present at the event to pay their tributes. Congress President Sonia Gandhi and former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh also were present on the occasion and paid floral tributes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, also who's travelling abroad right now, also paid his tributes, asking countrymen to dedicate themselves to creating an India that Ambedkar had dreamt of. He sent a message from Germany, where he is currently on an official visit.
मैं तो ये कहता हूँ कि आज मैं हूँ, अगर मैं इस जगह पे हूँ क्योंकि वो थे, अगर उन्हीं के कारण ही आज मैं यहाँ पर हूँ। अगर वो परिस्थितियाँ ये बदली ना होती तो शायद मैं विजय सांपला भी आज इस पोजीशन पे ना होता। सो भारत के लिए और समानता के लिए, देश की उन्नति के लिए उनका हर क्षेत्र में बहुत बड़ा योगदान है।
डॉक्टर साहब कोई एक समाज या वर्ग के नेता नहीं थे और एक समाज और वर्ग के लिए ही कुछ किया था, ऐसा नहीं था। उन्होंने जब संविधान लिखने की शुरुआत की, बनाने की शुरुआत की, तो उनको दिल और दिमाग में राष्ट्र का निर्माण था।
मंडल कमीशन की रिपोर्ट आ गई थी, लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार ने तो मंडल कमीशन की रिपोर्ट को अपनी हुकूमत के दौरान में लागू नहीं किया। तो हमारी पार्टी ने श्री बीपी सिंह को ये कहा कि हमारी दूसरी शर्त ये है कि जब मंडल कमीशन की रिपोर्ट आ गई है, अति पिछड़े वर्ग के लिए जब मंडल कमीशन की रिपोर्ट आ गई है, जिसके लिए हमारी पार्टी ने कई साल तक मंडल कमीशन की रिपोर्ट को लागू करने के लिए हमने पूरे देश के अंदर देशव्यापी आंदोलन किया था।
It is not the question of the legacy of Ambedkar. It is the question of the relevance of Ambedkar today. The political parties should understand, should really think over the political thoughts, economic thoughts, theories of Dr. Ambedkar.
Now, ICICI has slashed its lending rates by 2.5%, this in nationwide and long. Well, the ICICI Bank has slashed its interest rates by 0.25% effective from 14th April following the rate cuts earlier done by competitor banks SBI and HDFC. The rate cut is applicable to both existing as well as new borrowers. For women applicants now, the home loan rate stands at 9.85%. For others, it's 9.90%. The 7 Jawans killed in an ambush by Naxals on Saturday in Sukma were given the Guard of Honor at the Jagdalpur district today in Chhattisgarh. The centre has decided to confer gallantry awards to the martyrs and would give compensation to the victims' families. The bodies were recovered from the site 24 hours after the attack. Congress legislator Rumi Nath was arrested today for her alleged nexus with a pan-India car theft racket. During investigations, it was found that the alleged car theft gang leader was issued Assam Assembly car passes on the recommendation of the MLA. Earlier, Guwahati High Court had rejected her two anticipatory bail applications in connection with the case registered at the Dispur police station. Well, time for a quick break right now, but coming up on the other side, a triumphant Indian hockey team returns with a bronze medal at the Aslan Shah Cup. More on that on the other side.
A new government in New Delhi. New faces.
People are not investing because they are scared of your tax administration.
New thinking.
The auction process is a fair and good process.
You cannot have a one-size-fits-all reform policy.
For insights and perspective.
Judiciary should be more concerned about corruption within itself.
The Modi government slogan of अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं. Soon the people's slogan will be हमारे पुराने दिन लौटा दो.
The biggest show on economic policy. Watch State of the Economy.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. And now Pakistan's Punjab government has challenged the release of 2611 mastermind Zakir Rahman Lakhvi in the Pakistan Supreme Court. Lakhvi was released from detention by the Lahore High Court last week. In a petition, the Punjab government said that Lakhvi's release had created problems for it. The government has also pleaded that the Lahore High Court has suspended Lakhvi's detention despite seeing the sensitive documents against him. The court also argued that the investigation into the Mumbai attack case may also be affected because of Lakhvi's release. The Pakistan Supreme Court will fix a date of hearing. Lakhvi was released from detention on the 10th of April from a Rawalpindi jail. That's 1 year to the day today since the Boko Haram abducted more than 200 girls aged between 12 and 17 from the Chibok town in Nigeria. Some 50 had escaped on the night of the attack, but other than a brief appearance in a propaganda film, most of them have not been since. The grim sequence of events will be remembered across Nigeria today in various awareness events across the country, also around the world. Yes, more.
1 year on from that ugly landmark, the country still hopes against hope that all of them will return safe one day. Most of the girls are still missing. Despairing parents say that they cannot do anything but hope. Events marking 1 year since the abduction began on Monday in the country's capital, Abuja.
Yes, that's my prayer. By God's grace, they will be back. And they will be back. All our parents will be happy again. We will be happy. All Nigeria will be happy about it.
We have been praying for the safe return of these girls, and there have been so many people out there also praying and crying for the safe return of these children of ours, sisters of ours, and friends of ours. So we've not failed in our efforts in terms of prayer to ensure that these children return safely.
On 14th of April last year, 276 girls aged 12 to 17 were kidnapped by Boko Haram militants. At least 57 of them later managed to flee. Boko Haram leader Abu Bakr Shekau had claimed responsibility for the abduction in a video, vowing to sell the girls as slaves. The kidnapping set off an international outcry, leading to a campaign called Bring Back Our Girls. Over the last year, several high-profile personalities have joined in, including Michelle Obama and Nobel Peace Prize laureate Malala Yousafzai. Members of the group say over 200 schoolgirls are still being held by the extremists. Though a woman told the BBC she had seen some 50 of the abducted girls alive in the northeastern Gwaza town before the Boko Haram militants were driven out there by regional forces.
There are times that you are in pain that you don't even, to the extent that you don't say a word. People talk to you, you have no answers for them. So for us, we have reached this moment where tomorrow is going to be 1 year. And it's so painful that sadly we might wake up tomorrow and our girls are still not back. We have talked and talked and talked and talked for 364 days today. So we feel it's time to just go silent and express our pain by being quiet.
Efforts to find the girls have had no success so far, even with the help of Western military spy planes and hostage negotiation experts. Hundreds of parents have announced that they will protest once again to demand the help from the government and other countries. Many hope that new President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, due to take office on 29th of May after defeating President Jonathan at the polls last month, will accelerate the search. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now for all the other international news and updates in Global Buzz. Iran warned that sanctions must be lifted in the first stage of the nuclear deal with world powers. Iranian Foreign Minister Javed Mohammad Ansari told the press briefing in Spain that no good agreement can be achieved with the threat of sanctions hanging over Iran. A framework nuclear deal struck with Britain, China, France, Germany and Russia and the United States seeks to limit the Iranian nuclear program in exchange for relief from economic sanctions. Final deal is due by the 30th. The United States released fresh aerial video footage of airstrikes against areas controlled by Islamic State militants in Syria and Iraq. US planes hit Islamic State fighting positions near Kobani and Raqqa and destroyed a vehicle near Mosul and Tal Afar areas in Iraq. Government troops and pro-Russian rebels continued overnight fighting in eastern Ukraine despite renewed diplomatic efforts to enforce a truce. On Monday, Ukraine, Russia, Germany and France called for a withdrawal of more weapons from the Eastern Front. All four nations expressed grave concern over the surge in fighting. Well, it's time for all the sports news and Sports Beat now. The Indian hockey team today arrived in New Delhi after winning a bronze in the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup at Ipoh in Malaysia. Hockey team captain Sardar Singh said the performance showed that the team could beat the world's best. India finished third, beating Korea 4-1 in the penalty shootout after both teams were locked 2-2 at the end of regulation time. Former South African pacer Alan Donald has stepped down as the bowling coach of the South African cricket team. Donald was appointed in 2011 as part of Gary Kirsten's management team and continued in the role under current coach Russell Domingo from August 2013. The Proteas hope to line up a replacement by the time they tour Bangladesh for 2 tests and a ODI series in July. Liverpool kept their hopes of Champions League football alive with a comfortable 2-0 victory against Newcastle. Striker Raheem Sterling scored his 11th club goal of the season and as he gave Liverpool an early advantage with a clinical finish past Tim Curl in the 9th minute. Joe Allen doubled the lead in the 70th minute to put his side in a strong position. Liverpool have now moved to 5th spot in the league table, just 4 points behind 4th place Manchester City. That's all from us. Goodbye.